Okay, so let's take a look at how you can set up Google Cloud SDK, and we'll also see how to set up the cloud command line interface. So if you signed up to Google Cloud, you can search for Cloud SDK and it will point you to documentation. Clicking on this link should open this particular tab that looks something like this. Here you can see it allows you to integrate with libraries in languages like Java, Python, Node, Ruby, Go, .NET, PHP. Then there are also some command line interface scripts that you can run. Also use it with compute and Bigtable, BigQuery, etc. Right. So here you see Cloud SDK tools for all language, command line interface, and SDK for respective languages. Pricing is free, and you can also find that going to shell would require you to click on activate cloud shell. Right now the thing is, what we will do is, first thing, go to this get started part. It will take you to install SDK. It should be same page as this, right? So here you can see, to follow step by step, you can click guide me. So it will point you to this particular area where you can see this Windows option would want you to download the CLI installer. So it will take a lot of time. So what I will do is use PowerShell command. So I will copy this and then I will go to terminal, which has PowerShell by default. Right now what we can do here is we can simply run the command. Here you will see pasting this would be giving some unexpected results. This is a new warning dialog that is coming these days. Click paste anyway, and as you can see, it has started the installer. Now here you see you can use screen reader mode and also use the option whether to send the data to Google by clicking on this particular checkbox. I prefer not to, so I will just click next. Right now click agree, and here you see select install type. I will just choose this for myself. Click next. Here you can choose this for particular drive also, right? And here you see only 88 MB required. If you need any other folder, you can use so, right? So I will click next. Then comes your component options, where you see the command line interface core libraries and tools, then Python. If you already have Python, then no need to. Then cloud tools for PowerShell, and then beta commands. So beta components that gets downloaded, can make use of it. Click install, and then you can move to your setup here. We'll finish all the components download, and once it does that, you are free to move. Right now, after it installs that, one more thing to do is we will have to check the shell from our cloud dashboard. I'll be enabling that as well. Now that you notice the installer is finished, and now if we click next, it will show you things that will happen. I can create start menu, then there is desktop shortcut, I don't want that, then start cloud SDK, and then run gcloud init. Click finish, so that will happen. So now our terminal has another instance. So it's like two terminals we have, one already running and second opened by our Google Cloud CLI. Now here it says you must log in to continue. Would you like to log in? Say yes. Right, so let me go there and say yes. So browser has been opened to visit your account, where I will have to, once you log in, it will ask you to trust Google SDK, then click allow. It should take you to, okay, as you can see, once you log in, you will have to pick up a project and choose from that. So I will be entering the project ID, so for that I will just use the console. So in console we can see our project ID. I will go to dashboard. Here you can see project number as well, but I'm not sure if that's the ID. So currently it says molten gasket, so that's the ID you can choose. So I will just go back to the command line interface, choose molten gasket 384 and something. I will choose option 3, hit enter, and it will show you that current project is set for this command line interface, and has returned with some of the options, right? So this cloud configuration and its options are listed here. Now we will return back to our setup. As you can see, everything is done. Gcloud init is run. We have selected the project, and if you want to use any particular API enable option or so, you can do so, right? So apart from that, we can run things like gcloud auth list. Let's see how many accounts are authenticated. So we'll just run that command, and where you see the available set of options there, and you can see we have one account. Then next, again, configure list, right? And once we check the list, we'll have properties something like this. Then finally we will run few of these commands to verify if everything is done. As you can see, we got the output like that. So gcloud info, let's run that too. So if we run this, and there you go, all the options that we have with gcloud info listed, what is available, what is not, git, then bash, and so bash will show you SSH options, right? And installations path here, gcloud version, all these small settings you can find out. Now let's see, if I want to access help from command line, I can do so, paste it, and let's see what it will show you. So it should show me some of the options to access gcloud, then dash, then the type of service I want to access. So we have those options, right? Now apart from that, you will also see what to do with gcloud, and then reference guide, cheat sheet, so on. Now let's go back to dashboard. Like I said, I need to think of this particular activate cloud shell option. So I will go there, and I will select this option to continue. Cloud shell is free. So unlike Azure, you will find that Azure charges some specific amount. If it goes over that, it will charge monthly amount to use Cloud Shell. In case of Google, that is free for now. You never know. So continue with Shell, and here you will have one shell machine, so you will get sort of a VM here, right? So some amount of RAM, some memory, and you get access. Here you see the details of your Cloud Shell. You can click on session information. You can use usage quota. You can see 50 hours used also as weekly usage limits. So only use it whenever you wish to perform certain set of operations, right? Let's take a look at some basic commands like ls. Does it show anything? Okay, so it shows me readme, then dash cloud shell. So if I type in touch and say read me dash cloud shell.txt. Should open something, right? If there isn't any editor, it will just move away. Outside that, I can also check the cloud editor here. So click open editor. You will have one instance of that editor here. You see, connecting to your cloud shell editor in view. You can make it full, right? Once installed, we will see it. If it lets us edit some of the files or so, right? Okay, considering it has Linux on our shell, we should be getting option to host kind of like sample site on this shell as well. We will be trying that out separately, but let's take a look at this. As you can see, the interface is similar to VS Code, so you should have an access to the open folder, and here you see, let's see, you have search option, then this should be for extension and so, right? Let's see, what do we have? Cloud code, Terraform, debug, source control. So we don't have Git, so we can't use it for now. Then you also have option to restore back. Then let's see, web preview. If you are making anything, let's say HTML file or so, you can preview it in new tab. So you will be getting sort of like a domain. So if you create website and decide to upload it and wish to edit some of the part of it, you can do so using this editor as well. Let's close this, and now we have our cloud shell activated along with our account that syncs with this particular Google Cloud instance. So we managed to set up our cloud shell. We managed to set up Google Cloud SDK as well.